Greetings! How is everybody today? So I'm having a break right now between teaching. I'm teaching elementary school recorder. Now, a lot of times people start in third or fourth grade with that. Sorry, my hair is driving me bonkers. But in our school where I'm working as a teaching artist, I'm not a music educated. I don't have a music ed degree. I have a music degree, but not an ed degree. But I'm a teaching artist in the school. I'm also a parent in the school. But anyways, one of the things we added a lot of arts and music in our school, and it's something that is not as terribly difficult as it might seem. And I'm actually teaching recorder to first and second graders. And when we had this idea, so many people told me, you can't do that. There's no way. They can't learn. They're too young. They're too little. They're not coordinated. Not true. But one of my criteria for teaching recorder, now one of the reasons I wanted to teach recording, let's just start off with that, because we wanted instrumental music. It's gone from the elementary schools, most of them, even if it was just for a very short time, which it is. It's not ideal, but they're getting exposure and they're learning about using their air and playing an instrument that is relatively simple to play, and you don't have to make it complex for them, and you can still make it fun for them. And so far I've gotten pretty good responses. This is my third year doing this. The teachers seem pretty pleased. I'm always asking them for feedback, but for the most part, I've gotten really good feedback. So one of the criteria is for me, for being willing to teach that young an age. Now, if you've taught before, comment below and let me know. If you play an instrument, comment below and let me know. Now, if you play an instrument, you don't have to be a woodwind player to teach recorder. I mean, come on, most of us learned it in third grade, maybe fourth. I am teaching it to first and second graders, but the criteria for me to do that was that they have a recorder, a type of recorder that has raised holes. Now, this is one that has raised holes. This is actually a Suzuki Precorder that we're using. And when I learned, I think I learned on, it was a song flute, which is similar to this. It had raised holes like this. Now, the Suzuki recorder is kind of cool. It's called a Precorder, actually. And there's see the stripes here next to the holes actually shows you which hand goes on top, because this is the biggest mistake that kids make. And there's other ways that I teach that. I use things from more than one book. I put things on the big screen for them. Now, in this particular situation, I'm going into each classroom. So I'm not in the, say, music classroom. So there's no music stands or anything. I use the book projector, and I put everything down on the teacher's desk under the projector, and I project it on the big screen. And then I'm essentially pointing to everything as they play. And the first graders, normally, most of the time, they're only going to learn 3 notes, maybe 4, 5 at the most. So hi there, thanks for joining us. So when I'm teaching this, I'm only teaching the little kids, they're only using one hand, and I have them place their second hand down here. We don't even go over anything about where our fingers go down here. Because for the first graders, and when I'm only meeting with them once a week for 30 minutes, that they don't, you can't get too far into it with them with 30 minutes once a week. So it's really basic. And they've had a little bit of other music exposure and not a lot. And we talk about rhythms and how to count notes and stuff, but when they're playing, and we sing and finger the notes and clap rhythms, and then we do all of that before we start playing. And then so their other hand is down here, and we're not using this hand because they're first graders. Now the second graders, it depends on the class, and they might learn a few more notes. And it depends on how many weeks I have them and how much time. But when it's 30 minutes once a week, it's very minimal. And then the other thing that I've learned by being in these music educator groups online. So towards the end of the class, once I know that they're getting some basic songs and like seriously hot cross buns by rote, and then showing them with the music, and then showing them how to count it and the note values and all that, just being familiar with it. Some of them understand it because they've had piano or violin or some other instrument, but guitar even, but a lot of them haven't. And so it's like their first exposure. But the other kids kind of carry them along too. And I have them play things by rote, things by just listen to me copycat back. So even if you haven't had a lot of experience teaching this is like something as a musician and someone that's taught anything at all, even if you haven't taught music and you know how to read music, this is something you can teach. It's pretty simple. But I got some great ideas from some of the music educators online here in their groups, and we do a couple pop tunes where they play along with the actual rock song or whatever it is, and we learn like certain parts of the song, rhythms and stuff. One of them's let's see, there's one that's Kool and the Gang, an old one, Chic, it's like these old 70s tunes. There's a Beatles one that we do where it's only like 2 pitches and different rhythms, and so it makes it fun for them and they feel like they can play something. But at this point they've already read simple tunes, 4 to 12 bar tunes, basic rhythms on like 3 to 4 notes. So if you've ever had any doubt about teaching something like this, don't. It's actually really fun. And the fact that these are the pre-recorders, they're not as loud. They do still have the ability to squeak, but the regular recorders, the holes aren't big enough, or their fingers aren't big enough to cover the holes for the littlest kids, for the first graders. Although you could like put tape on some of them and just have them and teach them rhythm with a regular recorder. I have a friend that did that, who is a woodwind player. He actually wrote his own book for teaching recorder, and I don't think he ever published it, but anyways, if you want some tips for teaching recorder to young kids, like as young as 1st and 2nd grade, comment below. Let's see, let's just do comment below with the word tips, and I'll send you out a few things that I do, and a list of the books and things and resources I've used. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please comment below. You don't have to be watching the video live. I'm going to leave this up here. You can, maybe you're a teacher and you've done this for 30 years or something, and you have like awesome tips to share with me. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. But if you're a musician, if you're a musician, my connection's getting weird here. If you're a musician and you've had some things that you wanted to add to your business, teaching recorder is one of those really simple things that even younger kids can do if you have the right instrument and you teach it in the right way. So if you want some tips for teaching the youngest kids, 1st and 2nd grade, write tips below. If you're watching on the replay, let me know that too. Let me know what it is you teach, if you do teach music, or let me know if you've played an instrument or you still play an instrument. You don't have to be a professional. You could have a son or daughter that plays an instrument. Let me know that too. This is a community. I want this to be a community where we reach out to each other and help each other. Also for my students as a reference point. But in addition to that, Recorder is not that hard. And this doesn't sound quite as bad as like the regular recorder. It's a little bit softer. It is easy. It is not as easy to squeak, although they do squeak. But you teach everything from how to blow softly to how to hold it, the fingerings for the notes, the lengths of the notes, how to read the notes. But I'm looking at the projector with whatever music I have for them or whatever it is I have for them up on the projector, and I'm pointing to each pitch, to each note while they're playing, fingering in the other hand with them so that they can see what they're supposed to be doing and do it in a faster rate, a more easy time. And then these recorders also help a lot. These pre-quarters or Suzuki pre-quarters, or you could use the song flutes too, because they have the raised holes and they can really feel their fingers on there. And they're easier to blow. They don't squeak as easily. And like I said, they're a softer sound. So it doesn't go up as high as a regular recorder. They're like the song flute. They have a lower range because they're not as long. See, I don't have, my other recorder is not right next to me, but anyways, if you have any questions, if you want tips, put tips below. If you have any feedback for me, that's awesome. Please, if you've been teaching this for a long time or you're a woodwind player, you can chime in. And really just, I want this to be a resource for each other, for teachers, musicians, students, what have you. So thank you for watching. If you're not watching on the live and you're watching on the replay, let me know that too. Just say hi. Let me know that you stopped by, and have a fabulous day. I hope you listen to some or play some awesome music today. Listen to whatever you need to listen to. There's so much music to choose from. And playing this does not have to be hot cross buns. So that's kind of the point I wanted to make mostly, is that you can make this fun and using old pop songs, old rock songs, whatever. Find like some of that are in the key where they can play like 2 or 3 notes and find a rhythm that they can play along with. And I've done that using resources I found online from these other fabulous teachers around here. So thank you for watching and have a fabulous day. I hope you're listening to beautiful, wonderful music. Bye for now.